Hello everyone, it's me again, Joseph, your host, and welcome back to our St. Joseph's Corner channel. Today, we're going to journey back in time to meet a truly amazing saint, a man who was a noble, a monk, a writer, and a super brave archbishop. His name is Saint Ado of Vienne, and his story is like something out of an adventure movie, filled with kings, queens, and a hero who wasn't afraid to stand up for what's right. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Once upon a time, over 1,000 years ago, in what is now France, a little boy named Ado was born into a very wealthy and noble family. He could have had anything he wanted: castles, land, fancy clothes, but Ado's heart wanted something more. He wanted to live a life dedicated to God. So when he grew up, Ado made a huge decision. He gave up all his inheritance and became a monk at a place called the Abbey of Ferrers. As a monk, Ado was a star student. He was incredibly smart and also very humble. His teacher, a wise abbot named Lupus Servatus, was super impressed with him. Ado loved to learn and pray, and soon he became a teacher himself at another monastery called Prum. But life wasn't always easy. Sometimes, when you shine brightly, it can make others feel a little jealous. Some of the other monks at Prum weren't very kind to Ado, and after his supportive abbot passed away, he was forced to leave. This could have been a very sad part of the story, but for Ado, it became a new adventure. He decided to go on a pilgrimage, a special journey to a holy place. He traveled all the way to Rome, the heart of the church, and stayed there for 5 whole years. After that, he went to another city in Italy called Ravenna, and there, in an old library, he found a treasure. It was an ancient book listing the stories of the saints, called a martyrology. Ado was so inspired that he decided to write his own version, which became very famous. He also wrote a big book about the history of the world and the lives of other saints. He turned a difficult time into something wonderful. After his travels, Ado ended up in the city of Lyons, where the good Archbishop, St. Remigius, welcomed him. He served as a pastor there until one day he got a very important message. Pope Nicholas I wanted him to become the new Archbishop of Vienne. Ado was now a leader in the church, responsible for a whole diocese. He took his job very seriously. He saw that some of the clergy had become a bit lazy, so he worked hard to inspire them and make sure they were teaching everyone about God's love. Ado himself was a great example. He lived a simple life, ate plain food, and spent many long hours at night praying and studying, always putting God first. Now, this is where our story gets really exciting. The biggest test of St. Ado's courage was about to begin. The land where he lived was ruled by a powerful king named Lothair II. King Lothair was married to a queen named Thuperga. But the king was not happy in his marriage. He wanted to divorce his wife so he could marry his mistress, a woman named Waldrada. In the eyes of the church, marriage is a sacred promise, a covenant with God that can't just be broken. But King Lothair didn't care. He was determined to get his way. He even tried to use his power and money to cheat. He called a big meeting of church leaders, called a synod, and secretly bribed the Pope's representatives to approve his divorce. It looked like the king was going to win. It was a terrible injustice against the queen and against God's law. When Archbishop Ado heard about this dishonest plan, he knew he couldn't just stand by and let it happen. He wasn't afraid of the king's power or anger. He knew his duty was to defend the truth. So he packed his bags and set off on another long and dangerous journey to Rome. He went straight to Pope Nicholas and told him everything about the king's plot, the bribes, and the injustice done to Queen Eudeburga. The Pope listened carefully to Ado. Because of Ado's courage and honesty, the Pope took immediate action. He declared that the corrupt synod's decision was invalid. The divorce was cancelled. King Lothair's sneaky plan had failed. St. Ado had single-handedly stood up to a king and defended the sanctity of marriage. He showed everyone that God's law is more important than the laws of any king. St. Ado continued to lead his diocese with wisdom and holiness until he passed away in the year 875. His life story is packed with amazing lessons for us today. First, we learn about the virtue of fortitude, which is just a fancy word for moral courage. Ado wasn't scared to do the right thing, even when it was difficult and unpopular. Listen to his conscience, that little voice inside that helps us know right from wrong, teaches us that we should always stand up for the truth no matter what. Second, he shows us the importance of marriage. Ado's brave defense of Queen Eudeburga reminds us that marriage is a special and permanent bond created by God. It's a promise that should be protected and honored. We also see the value of letting go of worldly things. Ado was born rich and powerful, but he chose a simple life as a monk to be closer to God. This reminds us that true happiness doesn't come from money or possessions, but from our relationship with God. And finally, St. Ado's story shows us the power of prayer. Even as a busy archbishop with tons of responsibilities, he always made time to pray. He knew that talking to God was the most important work of all, giving him the strength to do everything else. St. Ado of Vienne was a true hero of the faith. He was a scholar, a leader, and a fearless defender of the truth. He teaches us that with courage, faith, and a deep love for God, one person can truly make a difference in the world. He reminds us to always listen to our conscience and to never be afraid to stand up for what is right. Thank you so much for joining us to learn about the incredible life of St. Ado. I hope his story inspires you to be brave and faithful in your own life. Don't forget to like and share this video. Subscribe to our channel for more amazing saint stories, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Take care, everyone. Stay healthy and hungry for holiness. See you next time, and God bless you always.